Nestled in the heart have lost their lives on the school grounds, some through accidents, others through more sorrowful means. Could their spirits still be lingering, bound to the place they once knew so well? Whether you believe in ghosts or not, there's no denying that El Paso High holds an air of mystery. The walls of this school have seen generations of students come and go, but perhaps not all of them have truly left. So, the next time you walk past an old school building, take a moment to look up at the windows. Who knows? You might just see someone, or something, staring back. Boarding schools are He began to feel uneasy. It was as if the shadows in the corners of the room were moving, creeping closer. Minutes passed, and the boys outside started to hear something. At first, it was a muffled sound, almost like heavy breathing. Then came the screaming. Panicked, they tried to open the door, but it wouldn't budge. Even when the teachers arrived, the door remained locked, as if held shut by some unseen force. Inside, the boy's screams turned to silence. When the door finally opened, they found him huddled in a corner, shaking uncontrollably. His face was pale, his eyes wide with terror, and he was unable to speak. It took hours before he could finally explain what had happened. He said that as he stared into the mirror, he noticed a dark, shadowy figure standing behind him. At first, he thought it was his imagination, but as he turned around, the figure didn't disappear. It stayed there, looming over him, its presence suffocating and sinister. The figure didn't move, didn't make a sound. It simply stood there, watching him. Paralyzed with fear, he couldn't scream until the lights began to flicker violently, and the figure seemed to vanish into the shadows. To this day, no one knows what he truly saw in that bathroom. Some believe it was a ghost, perhaps the spirit of someone who met a tragic end on the school grounds. Others think it was a figment of his imagination, brought on by fear and the power of suggestion. Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. That boy was never the same after that night. The bathroom remains locked to this day. Its story passed down as a chilling warning to anyone who dares to challenge the unknown. The table, completely still. The janitor hesitated, calling out to her, but she didn't respond. Gathering his courage, he stepped closer. And that's when she vanished into thin air. Shaken and terrified, the janitor ran out of the room and refused to enter it again. When he shared his story, it sparked a wave of rumors. Students began to whisper about the identity of the mysterious woman. Some say she was a former chemistry teacher who tragically lost her life in the lab. According to legend, years ago, there was a terrible accident involving a chemical explosion. The teacher, who was conducting an experiment, didn't survive. Her spirit, they believe, never left the place where she spent so much of her life. To this day, students and staff avoid staying in the chemistry lab after dark. Those who've dared to remain claim they've heard footsteps, felt a cold presence, or even seen a shadow move across the room when no one else was there. Could it be the restless spirit of a teacher, forever tied to the place of her untimely death? Or is it just the collective imagination of those who know the tragic history of the lab? Whatever the truth may be, one thing is certain. The chemistry lab has a story that refuses to stay silent. So, the next time you find yourself alone in a quiet classroom, be careful. You never know who or what might still be there with you.